Good morning. I'm here to meet Taylor Grant, a potato grower with Grant 40 Farms here in Rupert, Idaho. It's harvest time here on the farm, which is a very busy time, so Taylor asked me to meet him right here out in the field. Good morning, Taylor.
Hi, Tito.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to have you here.
Thank you. What is it about this region that makes it so great for growing your potatoes?
We are essentially a desert, so we get to control the irrigation pattern, and then it cools off enough at nighttime, and then we get the heat through the summer. All that combined creates a perfect high-quality potato crop.
And what kind of potatoes do you grow?
So on Grant 40 Farms, we grow all russet varieties, but we do about 9 different varieties.
And how many acres do you farm on?
About 30,000 irrigated acres that we're rotating potatoes through. About 10,000 of those acres on an annual basis are potatoes.
That's a lot of acreage to cover, particularly right now during harvest time. Can you explain to me a little bit about the sequence of events for harvest?
In the field, you have the windrows that are running. They're piling that in front of the harvester. The harvester is then picking those windrows up, sticking that into the truck. From the field, they run to the cellar where we're storing the potatoes. They'll run it through some clean equipment, pull the rocks, pull anything that's not a potato out, and then we'll store those as long as the customer asks us to.
How long are your work days this time of year?
Typically, it's about 14, 15-hour days. They're busy days. They're busy days.
Yeah, they are. Taylor, can you share with me a little bit about why sustainability is so important as a potato grower?
Sustainability is at the top of our list because we want to make sure that this farm ground is still producing high quality crops in 100 years to come. One of the biggest things that we can do for sustainability on our farm is rotating different crops through, like sugar beets, like you see behind me from here. We have solar panels helping us generate power and offset our power consumption on our pumps. Our tillage practices are constantly evolving so that we're doing a better job there. And then just some of the chemistries that are out there that we're using on the crops to try to reduce the amount of chemicals that we're having to use. This farm should still be here producing, and it should be on to the next couple of generations down the road.
What family members currently work on the farm?
As of right now, today, it's my dad and myself currently managing the farm.
And when did you start working on the farm?
I came back in 2013, was living in Seattle, got married, asked my wife if she wanted to be on the farm or in Seattle. She said, let's move to the farm. A week later in 2013, we were on combine.
So 9 years you've been working on the farm.
Yep, can't believe it's been that long.
Who's responsible for all of the growth?
It's growing about 15% year over year. A lot of that growth can be attributed to Dad and his vision of what the company was going to be down the road. And then there's been a lot of contribution from the family members, a lot of other people who've been with us throughout the years that have also contributed to the growth and expansion of the farm.
Hey!
Hey,
Hi, I'm Tito.
Tito, nice to meet you. I'm
Nice
Dwayne.
to meet you, Dwayne. Do you mind if I ask you a few questions?
That'd be great.
How many generations has this farm been in your family, and when did it all start?
My father and mother started the farm here in 1958. Because he served time in the military, he was able to place his name in a drawing for a free farm. This cinder block cabin was their first house, and they had to make a profit in one of the first 3 years. So that's the gamble that my parents took on.
Are the family members the only people who are in control of this huge farm right now?
The core is family, and all of the ownership is family. We've got a tremendous crew that many of them are 25, 30 years employed here with us. We really view them as family as well. We also have a 7-person board of directors, just one of which is family. The other 6 are made up of professionals who've agreed to serve as the governing board for our operation. The creation of the board has put in place a governance structure that will allow our family to transition from successive generations without the need for family members to be the only governing entity that's responsible.
From what I've seen so far, your farm seems pretty progressive. Can you talk to me a little bit about the technology that you're using to enhance the quality and consistency of your crops? Like this, for instance, what is this machine?
This is a moisture sensor setup. We've got 4 moisture sensors, different depths, so we can understand the whole profile of what the moisture is doing through the profile of the crop. It's also got this rain gauge back here that's picking up any sort of irrigation water, or if it rains here in Idaho, then we'll get the rain. Then it's beaming all of that to the cloud. And so from that, we know exactly where the moisture is in the field. We can manage to that. It just gives you another data point that you can understand what's happening in the field. Even if I'm on the other side of the world, I can see what's happening in my field here.
Wow, that is a lot of potatoes. How many potatoes would you say are in here?
So this bay is about 100,000 sacks. A sack is 100 pounds, so about 10 million pounds fit into this bay.
And how many bays do you have?
About 30 bays that would hold roughly about 100,000 sacks, or 10 million pounds of potatoes per bay.
And so once they are stored here, where do they go after?
They'll go either to the processors, they'll wash them and they'll slice them up, make them into French fries, hash browns. The other place they would go would be the fresh pack market. So they would go from here to a packing facility, they'll wash them and they'll bag them or box them and then put those on pallets and ship them off to the customers, the grocery stores. Depends on the customer, but that's the process really between the two.
Well, this is beautiful.
This is the Snake River. This is where we get a lot of our water from. The other place that we get water from is from deep wells in the Snake River Basin. There's an aquifer that sits. We're also pulling water from that. That's anywhere from about 150 feet down to about 300 feet down below the surface of the ground.
Are there any other challenges you're facing today on the farm? And if so, how do you overcome them?
Labor is also another big portion of issues that we have to face. This year we started potato harvest. I had 14 trucks still sitting, couldn't find drivers to put in those. Every year it seems like we continually bring in more H-2A workers on the H-2A work visa program to do different types of jobs that we have on the farm. Some of these individuals have been with us for a long time. We're starting to help them through the EB3 program. This is helping them try to get a longer term visa. They can actually stay here year round, bring their families here and live a good life here.
Outside of your work family, you also have a wife and children, yeah?
Yep, we've got a wife, 2 kids, a boy that's 2.5 years old, a little girl that she's just now 9.5 weeks old. Brand new little baby, so yeah, we're doing great.
And when farm life isn't taking over, what do y'all like to do for fun?
As long as it's got adrenaline built in, we're usually pretty game for it. My wife and I, we both like to scuba dive, wakeboarding, or playing on the water. And then motorcycles, we both love to go ride motorcycles.
Well, Taylor, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for spending the day with me and showing me around. I learned so much.
Really appreciate having you here. Thanks.
Take care.